Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. As expected, with their pre-order coming up next weekend, it seems that this week we are going to be getting the first few teasers at the upcoming Beast Snaggas rules, and it looks as though Warhammer community are coming out very strong with one of the most anticipated new units for the Orks, the giant Squig riding cavalry unit which is known as the Squighog Boyz. As I mentioned in the video yesterday, I was expecting these to be toughness 6 with 4 wounds, and I was nearly there. As you can see on the screen now, these fellas will be rocking a very solid profile of movement 10, weapon skill 3+, ballistic skill 5+, strength 5, a huge toughness 6, 3 wounds, 3 attacks, and a 4-up save. Their leadership of 6 is low as you would expect from an Ork, but in a min squad of 3 won't actually be too much of a detriment most of the time, in all honesty. It's only if you take them in bigger squads of say 6, if they can go up to that number, that leadership of 6 may start to have an impact on how many models run away. The big thing here is that extremely nice toughness 6 and 3 wounds though, giving them a huge amount of damage soak in a similar line to things like the Primaris Outriders. Although with their 4 wounds at toughness 5, I would say that the Outriders may perform slightly better against strength 4 and strength 7 and 8 weaponry, which will be wounding on the same 5+ or 3+ respectively, but against things like strength 3 lasguns or heavy bolters, assault cannons, and then even up to strength 10 nasties like demolisher cannons, these guys will have a big advantage with that extra point of toughness. And in a somewhat surprising extra, they also have a really quite decent 4-up armor save to keep them going as well. I was personally expecting something like a 5-up armor, so this is a nice surprise in my opinion, giving you an overall very solid defensive stat line of 3 toughness 6 wounds, backed up by that 4-up save, and then the 6-up invuln that Beast Snaggas are getting too. And what this means is that even a full 10-man squad of intercessors rapid firing into these guys should, on average, just about fail to kill a single model in one round of shooting, doing something like 2.9 unsaved wounds. And then of course with their weapon skill 3+, strength 5 and 3 attacks, when these Squighog Boyz swing back with their incredibly fearsome sounding rocket mounted spears, they are undoubtedly going to be doing a huge amount of damage on the return swing, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was some kind of strength +3 on the charge kind of ability, bringing these guys up to that fearsome strength 8 when they do manage to get a charge off into your enemy. They also showed off the sprue for the knob on Smasher Squig today, and in a massive sigh of relief, it looks as though the kits in this are actually going to be really rather customizable and are definitely not the monopose static builds that I think some of us were fearing. This guy has numerous weapon options, as well as options for how the Squig even looks, its pose, and things like whether its leg is metal or the organic version. So I really am quite excited to see just how different 2 boxes of this set can look in terms of the variety of the models included in them. It looks as though there is going to be a good amount of scope to have 2 wildly different looking armies if you get 2 boxes of this side by side. The final thing that they show off from a rules perspective is for the Beast Snaggas Boyz themselves, and besides confirming that they come in a min squad of 10, which is, to be honest, completely expected, like that doesn't surprise me in the slightest, they also state that there are a few options in the Boyz kit too, with the Knob able to swap out his chopper for a brand new mini power claw known as a Power Snappa, which comes in at strength +2, -2 AP, and a flat 2 damage, and also presumably no hit penalty, because they state that this new style weapon doesn't slow down its user like the larger Power Claw does. And now personally I'm wondering if this might be because the Beast Snaggas knob may well be a base strength of 6 compared to the regular Beast Snaggas Boyz who are strength 5, and so as a troop sergeant style unit, being able to swing at strength 12 may be a little bit too much. They maybe thought that's a little bit too much to give to a troops sergeant, and so this is a way to still get him to that very scary strength 8, but without going too far overboard, and to balance it against the strength 10 that the Power Claw can get to. They took away the penalty to hit. The final thing that they show off is a new weapon option for the boys, and that is the fantastically cool looking Thump Gun, which seems to be pretty much a handheld mini cannon, firing a tasty Assault D3 profile 18 inches with strength 6, -1 AP, and D3 damage, as well as having the blast rule. So this could be a pretty cheeky way to help thin out some larger squads, as well as firing at some bigger 6-man squads of things like aggressors or eliminators, and then not only wounding them on 3s, but also bringing them down to that 4-up save, and then potentially killing them outright with that D3 damage. And of course, some people will complain, the D3 shots and D3 damage are of course still rather swingy, and I know a lot of armies have had their weapon profiles changed to be a lot more solid, reliable 2 damage or 2 shots and that sort of thing instead of the D3. But in my opinion, of all the factions that I would want to see keep the random nature of shots and damage, it should be the Orks, because half the time their giant rockets will hit like a bullet, and then the other half, a tiny pebble thrown by an Ork boy will explode like a grenade. That's just how Orks operate. It's the randomness that makes Orks feel orky and makes them feel fun. So in my opinion, I'm kind of glad to see that they are keeping that kind of feel to the Orks. But that is it for today. What do you think of this preview that we have been shown? Do you like the Squighog Boyz profile? And would you have preferred a Power Claw, or are you happy with this slightly weaker but more accurate Power Snappa that seems to be the go-to weapon for the Beast Snaggas boys? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I will catch you later, guys.